So Gurjot, it's wonderful to talk to you today. We're very excited to have this discussion. You're the Indian CEO of Tide, which is a UK-based fintech company, and you've decided to treat India as your first international market for expansion. So I guess we could start off with asking why India?
Yeah, thank you for having me. And as you said, we are the leading platform for SMEs in the UK. Presently, we have 5% market share in the UK, which practically means that 1 out of every 20 SMEs is using Tide in the UK. So it was quite natural, for us to venture into the global market. We finalized India as our first international, as a first international expansion. Primarily because of a bunch of reasons. First and foremost, India is a huge market. India has around 64 million SMEs, which is practically 10% of SMEs of the world. So from that standpoint, right, India becomes quite critical as a market for anybody who is looking to serve the SMEs. Secondly, we believe India has a very pragmatic ecosystem. There has been amazing push on digitization from the government. The regulator, has ensured with the policies that the distribution of financial services has to go digital, right? Because you have to reach to those many number of customers and SMEs. So that's again a big positive for a fintech like ourselves. Lastly, we see that India is one of the hottest fintech hubs in the world. India is one of the largest, has one of the largest startup ecosystems in the world, which is quite critical because it ensures that there is a world-class technology talent available in the India market. Other than setting up India business, we have also set up a global technology center in Hyderabad in India, which today has close to 200 product and engineering people who work on a global platform based out of India. So from all these standpoints, India is a very important market for us, and hence it's our first global venture outside of the UK.
You talked so much about India's fintech sector, and I want to get back to that. But before that, there's been a lot being said about ease of doing business in India. And I'm sure our readers will be very curious to know what were Tide's experiences expanding to the Indian market. Were there any particular challenges that you had to overcome?
Well, we've had a very good journey so far. India has a very pragmatic startup ecosystem and fintech ecosystem. The regulator ensures that there is a push to the banks to collaborate with the larger fintech ecosystem. The regulator understands the importance of digitization. And positive and open-minded collaboration opportunities with banks, with schemes like Visa. We are engaging with NPCI for UPI as well as. So overall, there is a very pragmatic ecosystem, and the rails ensure that the participation from fintechs like ourselves are welcomed. So from that standpoint, it's been very refreshing and quite positive for us. And Tide as a brand has done so well in the UK, and anybody who follows fintech as a sector, knows of Tide as a brand. So from that standpoint, we have got a very positive effect when we have started reaching out, to partners in India, and also we have seen, amazing interest from the talent available in the market. We have been able to scale to 200 plus technology and product people in less than a year, in our Hyderabad tech center. And most of this has happened, when we were working remotely. So from that standpoint, it's been a very positive and refreshing experience for us.
I want to just revisit again, when you were talking about opportunities in India's fintech sector, and we're seeing that there's a huge boom within this sector, particularly with most of the digitalization that happened on the back of COVID. But I suppose what I want to ask is, are there any particular subsectors within fintech, Tide being so prominent in the fintech sector overall and the ecosystem, that you can identify and saying that these are the ones that hold the most potential?
Right. So we, as an organization, focus on SMEs. Right. We see a huge potential of contributing to digitization of SMEs in India at each step of their journey. So that is, an amazing opportunity at hand. There has been a lot of progress in terms of the reach of internet, right? The access to digital tools, Aadhaar stack, GST stack, UPI. But having said that, there is still a lot of work to be done to ensure that all these services are available to SMEs, and they could use these in a seamless experience through tech and product platform, which is highly secure and easy for them to use. So we see a huge potential there. Specifically within that, we see huge opportunity in SME credit. All of us would have read reports which say that there is a huge credit gap for SMEs, and to enable this segment to grow, that problem needs to be solved. And I believe fintechs like ourselves have a very important role to play there. Use of alternative data, use of more pragmatic approaches than traditional approaches to serve this segment are the key and way to go forward. Very large percentage of SME credit today comes from the unorganized side of lending in India, which is typically quite expensive for SME. The overall experience is not very seamless, right? So if you solve for that and deliver value for SMEs, I think that goes a long way in not just enabling the SMEs, but enabling the overall business ecosystem in the economy as well. So that's something we would focus actively on.
You talked about adding values for SMEs, particularly Indian SMEs, and I was just reading about Tide's recent partnership with India's RBL Bank. Could you talk a little bit about that, what that partnership is geared towards, and how that might help with your ongoing engagement with Indian SMEs?
Right. So we've partnered with RBL for bringing bank account service to our SMEs. So in partnership with RBL, this collaboration will be bringing business accounts for SMEs. RBL is quite an advanced bank in terms of technology. The kind of investments and they have done on their technology stack, on the APIs, and they have played a very important role in enabling fintech as an ecosystem in the country. So hence, we have set up this collaboration with RBL. For now, it's for bringing bank accounts to SMEs, but we look forward to engage and work closely with them to bring other financial products to the SMEs from RBL. And even we would look to work with other banks, NBFCs in the ecosystem to collaborate and bring financial services to SMEs at large.
Thanks, Gurjot. It just occurred to me because you were talking about all the partnerships that Tide's got lined up and would want to line up towards working with Indian partners. And it just makes me wonder, are there any particular areas within the fintech ecosystem that you think provide a rich sort of ground for UK companies to partner with Indian companies where UK expertise can be applied to, say, Indian innovation or Indian tech talent?
Well, other than things that I've already touched before in the interview around digitization and bringing credit to SMEs, I think another area within fintech which on which we need to do lot of work as an ecosystem is open banking. So we see some banks have started taking first steps towards that and have developed open APIs to ensure that open banking or open account aggregation is available to the user in a very seamless manner, right? Account aggregation or account aggregator as a concept will also play an important role in the same. And there are few bodies which have been pushed by the regulator and government to ensure that the same ecosystem is enabled. But that's one area I think where we as an ecosystem have to take a lot of steps. And I see that in the West, that ecosystem is quite developed and open banking is quite an advanced concept. So that's one piece which we will again work in collaboration with banks to ensure that specifically for SMEs, how does that bring value? How does that make their life and experience more seamless so that they could focus on their core work, and we could help them make more sense of their financial data, make more sense of their aggregated financial muscle or strength.
Because you're very much within this tech space and a lot has been reported and talked about data security or cybersecurity, data privacy, it would be good to know your views on that. How are you tackling India's data privacy laws, and how are you working in that space, sort of trying to counter the cyber threats as well, given that you are a fintech platform?
Excellent. So to start with, data localization is very important and has been central to our approach while building for India. So that's something which is quite critical in today's day and time, and we are ensuring that we meet the standards which are needed for data localization as well as on the privacy side of the things. Secondly, we are a one platform organization. We are looking at internationalization with a one platform, one team approach. Our technology and platform teams are one globally. So, we are going to bring the best standards of security and data privacy to India as well. So that's central to our culture, our value. We are a one team, one platform organization, and that essentially also helps us ensure that we bring the best value to SMEs across the world. Right? Though the core needs are same, right? But still, we could bring in the best practices. From a product standpoint, from a technology standpoint, from UK to India, and use similar practices which from India to UK. So from from that standpoint, it gives us added strength as we start our journey of internationalization and doing India as a first country. It's quite interesting and will have a lot of positive rub-off on our UK business as well.
So it would seem that Tide has definitely some future plans towards expanding to other markets as well beyond India, I guess. And that brings me to my last question, Gurjot. What are your future plans, not just for India, but do you have, as a company, plans to expand further or, sort of diversify your portfolio?
So as an organization, we aspire, to serve around 25% of SMEs world over, right. But that does not mean that we will be going to many geographies at the same time. India is our first step in that journey, and for now we want to stay focused and build a significant business here before we take up another challenge. We've taken a conscious call that for us, putting more ticks on the world map is not the best way to approach internationalization. Our approach will be one significant market at a time, and build it well and grow it well. Specifically from an India standpoint, over the next year, we are looking to acquire somewhere around 30,000 odd SMEs, and over next 5 years, we look forward to serving around 500,000 SMEs in the India market. So that's broadly our aspiration to start with, and we want to be major contributors towards digitization of SMEs in India, and bringing a world-class financial services platform to the Indian SMEs.
That is really truly refreshing to hear. It's always nice to hear different sort of philosophies companies take towards their expansion plans. Thank you so much, Gurjot, for sparing time out of your really busy schedule and doing this interview with us. It has been a pleasure to have this discussion with you.
Thank you, Ishita. Thanks for having me.